What has been the response? Yet again you are frustrated?
No, response for this idea, at least at the individual and small group levels, has been very good. Right from Mr. Suresh Kumar, the concerned minister, Mr. Ramamurthy, the erstwhile chairman, all the chief engineers and other officers of Water Supply Board, Mr. Tyagarajan, the expert committee chairman, and especially the Lok Adalat, has been tremendous. But we don't see this enthusiasm being translated into the formulation of a positive plan within a particular time frame and implementing it. Instead of that, we are hearing that the expert committee wants to suggest that they bring water from other river basins, which is ethically and morally wrong, because the people living in those respective river basins have got the absolute right over that water and not the people of Bangalore. We don't have any divine right over the entire resources of the state. That we should realize first. And secondly, at what cost?
Huge cost.
They are throwing around figures like 50,000 crores and 60,000 crores to bring water from Netravati.
When there is a plan already ready.
Ready. And this will cost you not more than 8,000 crores over a period of 5 years, which is very much within the capability of the state government without going with a begging bowl for any loans or anything like that.
Mr. Mukunda, rain harvesting is the need of the hour, as groundwater is depleting fast. BBMP has threatened to cut off water and sewage connections to those who have not adopted it. I believe your forum is opposed to it. You prefer it to be voluntary and not mandatory?
Simple, sir. BWSNSB cannot fritter away its human resources on supervising more than 1 lakh installations in Bangalore, whether people have installed rainwater harvesting systems. Our calculations show that even if all the 55,000 40 by 60 sites, existing sites in Bangalore implement the rainwater harvesting system, you will get hardly 2% of the total requirement of Bangalore, against which the city-wide rainwater harvesting, if implemented properly, at 60% efficiency, can give you 248 days of requirement of drinking water. As a body which has been set up to augment the water supply position and give a sustainable water supply to Bangalore, which scheme should they follow? Whether to force the citizens to adopt this and threaten them with disconnection and depriving them of a fundamental right, or adopt city-wide rainwater harvesting through the existing stormwater drains. They don't need to build anything. They've got more than 1,000 kilometers of stormwater drains in Bangalore. Collect rainwater without allowing sewage to get mixed in with that, and collect it in the lakes around Bangalore. It may be about 8 to 10 lakes. Treat it and send it back. It gives you 1,250 million liters per day.
Mr. Mukunda, yet another short break here. On written, let me ask you about master plan for Bangalore, that comprehensive development plan, Sakrama to regularize unauthorized buildings, and CVS for assessing property too. Hi listeners, please stay tuned, I will be right back. Sir, last one. You must be tired?
No, I'm
Please say okay. Nabha, ready? Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mukunda, Mr. Mukunda, I believe Citizens Action Forum has made a detailed study of the master plan for Bangalore, which is valid up to 2015. And the forum has made some valuable suggestions and raised serious objections to many of the provisions. What are those and what has been the government's response?
Basically, we felt that the master plan prepared in consultation with a French firm who are not familiar with the local conditions and traditions and practices is a recognition of the encroachment that was done in the green belt and its ratification. They reduced the area of green belt. They brought in the concept of mixed development, and they brought in this that mutation corridor where it is being chained over from a purely residential area to a part residential and part commercial area. and making every road above the width of 40 feet that can be converted into commercial areas. All these are going to bring really sound the death knell of urban planning in India and make Bangalore a mess all over. We did not want this to happen. We submitted these objections. The government of Karnataka appointed the Thomas Committee to go into the objections raised by citizens. Not only our forum, a lot of other people also submitted their objections. I believe more than 8,500 objections came in. And we were given 45 days time, and of course they had displayed the plan and all that. There were officers sitting there to explain. It was a wonderful thing actually. We appreciate the way the government did that. But when they collated all these objections in one and they appointed the Thomas Committee, which felt in its 26-page report, it said that most of the objections should be considered because they are really referred to the problems faced by the city. In just 2 sentences, they completely ignored it by saying that most of the objections were frivolous, for individual gains, and therefore the plan can be adopted as it was suggested in the original format. That is why we said for public hearing, when you reject our objection, you should come out with the reason and make it available in the public domain. Put it on your website. Tell everybody that the suggestion given by CAF has been rejected on the following grounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. If it is correct, we will also accept it.
But
we are not right always.
But they are not.
They are not done it. They are not done it. And that is, you see the result of the kind of development that we get. In Koramangala, you see on a 30-feet road, BPOs coming up with cars parked all over. If the BPO employs even 200 persons, there will be 200 cars. Where do you get the water? How do you take out the sewage from there? It is impossible. And if you don't plan for all these things, then how do you solve the problem? You create more problems. In trying to solve a problem, you're creating more problems.
You are still taking up this issue with the concerned
We have gone to
authorities?
the court. Unfortunately, the court refused to grant us a stay. It is still, the hearings are going on.
The case is on.
The case is on, but by the time the case is disposed of, probably 2015 will come.